Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic start to your weekend. It's Saturday, which means it's time for Yield Weekly Home Fragrance Roundup. And if this is your first weekly home fragrance roundup here, this is a series that I do on my channel where every Saturday I just kind of chit chat about all of the home fragrance that I was using around the house over the course of that recent week. So what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, what I was lamping. I'm not currently using my Pura devices because I need to get some refills still, so I have nothing to report in terms of Pura, but we have lots of candles to talk about from this past week. So before we get into it, be sure to check out the description box. Lots of links down there. I have some home fragrance related videos that are always linked near the top of the description box that might be helpful if you are not familiar with what a candle crock or a candle lamp is. I link my favorite crocks and lamps down there. There's also a couple of other videos that kind of reference what I do with my leftover wax, how I utilize my candle hurricanes, how I deal with problem candles, stuff like that. Also in that description box will be links to where to purchase any of the items that I'm mentioning in today's video. There's some discount codes down there, and also I link the candle sales that are happening during the current weekend with the candle companies that I tend to frequent the most. So anyway, without further ado, we are going to dive right in. How was your week? Hope it was good. Mine was good. It was a great week for burning. Also this week I shared a candle haul, and you guys, I went back to Yankee Candle. I know. So my friends Brett and Connor have been working on me for a good long while now to give Yankee Candle another try. They do now have it's a soy blend formulation, and they have the 2-wick jars. In fact, hey, there's one burning behind me here. This is Yankee Candle Pink Sands, and I just lit this one today. I tried to get around to burning more of those Yankees prior to this video, but unfortunately I didn't get around to it. So I just lit this one up today, and you guys, so far so good, especially in terms of strength and throw. Now it's not smacking me in the face, this Pink Sands, but it's very noticeable. I would consider this, just for the first couple burns here, to be a solid medium strength and throw. So yeah, so far so good. The only thing that I'm worried about is that they're gonna get kind of messy at some point, but I've received a little bit of advice via some DMs as well as a couple of comments to just limit the burn, which is honestly what I do with most of my candles anyway. So yeah, I'll definitely limit the burn on these to right around 3 hours, and hopefully that nips any potential issues in the bud, if you will. So yeah, really excited to start burning a lot of those Italian collection candles as well. There's one that smells almost exactly like the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 fragrance. So if you really like that boom boom cream scent from Sol de Janeiro, you gotta check that one out. It's lovely. At least on cold sniff, it is absolutely delightful. So hopefully by next Saturday, I will have a little bit more, some more initial post burn reviews from that particular Yankee haul. So anyway, but yeah, I went back to Yankee. Who knew that would ever happen? I guess hell froze over, right? Anyway, gosh, I have so much to talk about from this past week. Let's get started with what I actually have burning right now, since I already mentioned the Pink Sands. So downstairs, Craig, my husband, is currently enjoying Kringle Sicilian Orange, which is a wonderful kind of more herbal orange scent. Love it. Then I have the Tangerine Palazzo from the Slatkin & Co. and Elton John collab. That is lit in the entryway. So I've got kind of a whole citrus situation going on downstairs right now. That combo is really good together. If you happen to have both candles, try burning them together. It's a really great combo. I actually just extinguished about an hour or so ago The Bath and Body Works, is it Coffee Break or just Coffee Candle? I think it's just coffee. I really enjoyed that one more towards this morning, and it's had a pretty good burn on it. So my fingers are crossed that it's going to continue to burn really well. But yeah, I don't think that I've reviewed that particular Bath and Body Works candle. So as I get a little further down, I'll definitely do an in-depth review of that one coming up here soon. I purchased that. When did I buy that? That could have been during one of like my holiday hauls. I don't know. I went into my candle closet and saw it and was like, oh, I forgot to burn that. I should light her up. So anyway, that was still cooling down, so I didn't bother to carry that candle upstairs. In my candle crocks currently, so I'm utilizing all 3 of my crocks pretty actively this week. In 2 of the candle crocks, this one in this room here and in the downstairs laundry room, I decided to put 2 of my, I still have I think maybe 3 or 4 backups of my Bath and Body Works raspberry peach macaron candles. I have the little like mason jar ones. They're so cute, and honestly, they're quite old at this point. The last few that I have, I may just light them up, but I decided to sacrifice 2 of them to the crocks, and they're doing so well in there. They just smell incredible. I reviewed the Guilty Pleasure fragrance from Sniff this week. This actually very much reminded me of the Vanilla Bean Macaron, so if you need a replacement for that one, this would probably be one of the closest options that I've come across. And this one is lacking that kind of sour note that I heard a lot of people complain about back in the day when it comes to the Bath and Body Works Raspberry Peach Macaron. I never really smelled that back then, but oddly enough, I can smell it now. Like when I opened those candles, I was like, oh, that's what people were talking about. My nose has changed a lot over the last several years, and so I'm smelling things now kind of in a different way sometimes. And while I still like the Raspberry Peach Macaron, I can see now what people were talking about in terms of that slightly sour, kind of almost like spoiled milk type note, but it still doesn't rub me the wrong way. I still love the original, but man, this is really good. We're gonna talk about this a little bit more later, but anyway, that's what I have in the 2 crocks. And in the crock in my master bedroom, I decided to put the Kringle Reserve Honey Blossom. I had burned that one below the halfway point and was just like, I could continue to burn it because it was burning fine. Listen, there were no issues with the burn, a solid performance, still past the halfway point. But I figured I might be able to get a little bit more life out of it by going ahead and just popping it in the candle crock. By the way, I leave my crocks on 24/7. So usually when I have a candle in there that is somewhere around the halfway point, I will get at least a solid week, sometimes even a little bit longer of fragrance output. And if I put a brand new candle in there, it can be like a couple weeks and sometimes even slightly longer in terms of like 24/7 fragrance output. I don't advocate that everyone leaves their crocks on 24/7. I've never had an issue with it, so I do it, but obviously don't do that if you're not comfortable with it. I have not been using my lamps really this week, with the exception of finishing up the Into the Night earlier in the week, and that's already in my empties, so I'm not gonna bother getting that out. And then what else? Not using the lamps. We've already gone through what's burning downstairs. Let's talk about the candles that I finished this week. Sorry, I'm just trying to stay somewhat organized in my brain. Finished my first Better World Fragrance House candle, and it was the Williamsburg Sleepover. If you watched that Yankee haul, you also saw that I picked up the Carby Musk, as well as the Sweeter Tings fragrances from a Better World Fragrance House. I buy those candles at Ulta, but you can obviously also get them through, Drake's website. This is Drake's candle brand here. This Williamsburg Sleepover, I will link the in-depth review down below. It is heavenly. I love this fragrance, and I'm gonna keep talking about what an amazing performance these candles have. They're so good, you guys. For being 1 wick, just 10-ounce candles, the strength and throw is incredible on these, and they're super slow burning. This is hand poured 100% soy wax. The wicks are wonderful. They're sturdy, no wick issues whatsoever. I mean, look at this thing. It burned perfectly. Zero discoloration, no soot. It was just pure perfection from start to finish. I cannot tell you how amazing these candles are. And I hope that this brand starts getting a little bit more traction, maybe to encourage Old Drake to maybe produce some more scents. It's a pretty limited fragrance lineup right now, but I think he should keep doing this. Maybe do this. Maybe take a break on the music and just focus on this project, because this is amazing. I love that candle. I want everyone to try it. I do realize they are a little bit more expensive, and that is definitely going to be one of those things that will stop the vast majority of people from trying these. But if they are ever on sale at Ulta, I'm telling you, just try them. They're worth it. They are worth it. Okay. Another candle that I finished this week that I really enjoyed, and this item here was a PR item. This is the limoncello cupcake and toasted coconut. You guys, look at that. Look at that. That is a luscious, clean burn there. This is one of like the best burns. I feel like this is the type of experience that I really love from a HomeWorx candle, when the wick clips extinguish the flames and there's just a really light layer of wax left at the bottom. Like, this just had a beautiful burn, you guys. No issues, no complaints. I really like the fragrance. So far, this and the raspberry, which I also reviewed this week, I've had a great experience with both of these. So these both came from the Rakuten & Co. website because they were PR items. You can purchase this one in a set of 2 from QVC. And if there's a decent sale going on at QVC, definitely think about getting it over there, because you'll get a set of 2. I definitely want another one of these for this summer, so I will be ordering a backup of this, but probably not until we get a little bit closer to summer. Loved it. That toasted coconut note is absolute perfection with that lemon cupcake. So good. Now, this is the same limoncello cupcake base with the raspberry, however, and it's really tart, beautifully sweet. Raspberry and lemon, they're beautiful together. So if this one intrigues you, I had a really good burn experience with this one so far, but obviously I'm not completely finished with this one. So this will be probably an empties next week. So in terms of other empties from this past week, I have finally started burning through these Rakuten & Co. and Elton John Advent calendar tiny votives that I had left over from the holidays. So I finished the Tangerine Palazzo, which I obviously have the massive size of going downstairs right now. The Estate Library, the Woodside Holiday Traditions, I purchased the full size of that one, and the Woodside Fir. I didn't really love the Estate Library, and I didn't love the Woodside Fir, but love that Tangerine Palazzo, love that Woodside Holiday Traditions, would repurchase both of those scents, but these other 2 weren't really my bag. But anyway, nice to always finish these small guys. So wait, I gotta keep all this stuff separate. That needs to go back downstairs. Those are going into empties. Okay, we have a few more empties from Kringle. So this is my beloved jelly donut, which so good. This one was so potent, you guys. I burned it all the way down. This was an absolutely perfect performing candle. I am going forward just going to purchase the 4-wick version of the jelly donut because it is available in the 4 wicks, but I have several 2-wick backups. So I'm gonna finish all of my backups first, but going forward, when I am purchasing replacements from Kringle, you are probably going to see me mostly getting the 4-wick format if it's available, just because I really love the added oomph that I get from the 4 wicks. Not that I necessarily need it with jelly donut, because this one's really potent on its own, but I just love the look of the 3-wick candles too. So anyway, for what it's worth, this one was absolutely delicious and delightful. Happy to have another empty of it. I finished I finished these two, and this was a major bummer for me to finish these. I do have a backup of the red velvet. I don't have a backup of the bittersweet, but the next time that I place an order, I will also get a backup of the bittersweet. Both of these I burned to probably, I mean, God, it's so potent. Even now with this being completely finished, like it still is hitting me in the face. This is such a beautiful chocolate, but I had burned these to about this point and then popped them in my Crocs. Same with this one here. And then when all of the fragrance oils dissipated, I poured the rest of the wax out into the cardboard containers that I use to make my fire starters for the fireplace in our backyard. But anyway, I loved both of these. I burned them pretty much mostly to completion, but in order to savor the last little bit, I had popped them into my Crocs for about a week and a half, and I really enjoyed both of these. I'm not always the biggest chocolate fan when it comes to home fragrance, but I gotta tell you, these two, especially that red velvet, they are so delicious. So definitely worth checking out, 100%. And then this one here was a little bit interesting. This is the Purple Majesty. I just recently reviewed this one. I had burned it to probably about a third, maybe halfway into it. Obviously I poured actually I can tell here on these wicks, I was right here. So just about below the halfway point. I decided to, after burning this, put it into the candle crock in this room here. It lasted about a week. I really feel like I should have maybe gotten just a few more days out of this one, but the fragrance oils seemed to dissipate a little bit more quickly. I actually liked this one even more when it was melting versus when I was burning it. And I thought it was a pretty great scent when I was burning it. If you're curious about my in-depth reviews from the latest Reserve launch, I believe all those reviews are done at this point, so you can find them on my Kringle candle playlist. Just go to my main page, and there's playlists at the bottom. There's one for HomeWorx, there's one for Kringle, there's one for Bath & Body Works. I don't know that I have one created for Valispa, but I probably should. I've tried enough Valispa candles at this point to create a playlist. But yeah, this Purple Majesty, kind of an interesting, unique, more perfumey floral. I don't know that this one's going to be for everybody, but if you're into the more unique florals, this one might be worth checking out. I have had a lot of you ask me to pass along to Kringle that you would wish that they would do daylights for the Reserve fragrances, and I'm gonna go ahead and let my contact Joe know that this has been a suggestion for a while here. I've kind of mentioned it off and on, but I do think it would be really nice for people to be able to experience these Reserve fragrances prior to committing to them. The line is obviously more expensive. I really like a lot of the fragrances that come out in the line. A few of them I'm just like, this really isn't my bag, but most of them have been pretty interesting and have performed well. But it is kind of hard to commit to purchasing a, what are they, $34, $35 candle, and not knowing necessarily what it's going to smell like. Obviously you can watch reviews, but everybody's nose is a little bit different, and you might perceive the fragrance a little bit differently. So with Kringle being a mostly online company, I just think it would be helpful to have something like the daylights available in all of their different lines, so that people could experience them and figure out whether they actually like the scent or not. So anyway, for what it's worth, this Purple Majesty here is done, and I would not repurchase this one, but it was nice to experience it. Now these other two, yeah, repurchase these all day long. Those are fabulous, but I'm also kind of a gourmand lover. All right, let's keep going. I do still have a few more Kringle candles that I was playing around with this week, and then we'll discuss some other candles and then get to the wax melts. Okay, one of the candles that I am trying to use up, and then I still have one more backup. I want to buy the 4-wick. Listen, the ice cream sandwiches is now available in the 4-wick format, and so even though I kind of wanted to save the 2 that I have for the summer, I was like, I'm just gonna burn this downstairs and start burning it now so that I can get to the point where I can order the 4-wick of this, hopefully for the summertime. I think I might have accidentally obliterated the wicks on this one. I was gonna light this one this morning and I clipped the wicks very low. I might be able to get this to recover if I get some of the wax out of here, but look at how short those wicks are. Look what I did. Oh God, they're nubs. They are nubs. This is what I get for busting out my old school Yankee Candle wick trimmer. I always mess up my wicks when I use that thing. I don't know why I keep it around, but a lot of times I just prefer to trim these 2-wick tall Yankee jars with just a regular pair of scissors, but couldn't find them. So anyway, I love this fragrance. This is utterly delicious. It really does smell like vanilla ice cream with sprinkles, and then almost like you added some coconut cream over the top of everything. There's a little hint of chocolate in here as well. It's so good. This is just delicious. This is probably one of their yummiest gourmands. Definitely very authentic. Absolutely worth checking out. I did a little bit more work on the strawberry prosecco from the same launch as the bittersweet and the red velvet. So I am now past the halfway point with this one. You know what I really liked pairing this one with? The Guilty Pleasure from Sniff, as well as the Big Flirt from Sniff. This trio had my house smelling so good this week when I had all 3 of them lit. Absolute perfection. The bubbly note in here is really like bright and vibrant. There's also this nice touch of citrus in this one. And I really like the strawberry note that is included as well. So yeah, you've got strawberry, citrus, floral, green, grapefruit, fruit, and musk. Listen, it's just a great kind of happy type of fragrance. I think it's a good kind of year-round scent. And if you are interested in it, I've had a good burn experience with it. So, and like I said, it pairs well with these two. So I'm just going to talk about them now, but we still have a couple more crinkles to go through. The Sniff, this is actually the Sniff Winter Wander. Okay, so I placed an order at Sniff for these 3 candles that I have here. I decided to pop this one in because the fragrance notes just sounded intriguing to me. I was kind of expecting a version of a vanilla balsam type situation. That is not what this is. There's a lot of brown sugar in here. There's a lot of like that heavy molasses note as a result. I really don't get much in the way of tree. I just don't really like this fragrance. In the review, I forgot to mention that this is a collab with Tegan Gerard. I don't know much about this woman, but she appears to be an author of cookbooks. So yeah, again, I feel bad that I don't know anything about her, but this was her collab candle with Sniff. And I think it's just way too much molasses for my nose, and that just kind of overwhelms the fragrance in my eyes and makes it smell a little cloying. So not super pumped about this one, but the other 2 I bought are amazing, and I would love the 50-ounce sizes in the Guilty Pleasure as well as the Big Flirt. Big Flirt has notes of chocolate ganache, strawberry. You've got that like effervescent champagne, bubbly Prosecco type note in here. It's absolute perfection. These burn like champs, you guys. So this is 100% soy, which you know that I tend to favor. I believe these are hand poured. Don't quote me on that, but it is a cruelty-free brand. They're actually vegan. They don't have any preservatives in their candles or anything like that. I really like the packaging. Don't love the plastic lids, but they're fine. They definitely protect the candle. I just feel like they could do something a little bit more elevated looking. But all that being said, fantastic fragrance here. And this one, like I said, reminds me of the Raspberry Peach Macaron from Bath & Body Works. So I think this one is sweet. It's got that hint of almond. It's got those fruity notes running throughout it. It's just another delicious, amazing gourmand. If I had to only pick one to get the 4-wick of, I think it would be the guilty pleasure for me, but I also want this one in a 4-week as well. So, but I'll probably just start with this one in terms of when I finish this, I will replace it with the 4-wick of this one first. But man, let's go, you guys. By the way, the sniff candles are available in this 2-wick format over at Ulta. So I'll have them linked at Ulta as well as the sniff website. I signed up for their refer a friend program, so that's the link that I'll put into the description box, because that'll save you at least $10. I believe it's $10 off of your first purchase, but you have to be a first-time customer at Sniff to be able to use that, but it's at least a little bit of a discount, so have at it if you're interested. I don't think they're having a sale on their website. I feel like sales are pretty few and far between from Sniff, just in terms of what I've noticed. So I actually started with Sniff when I started purchasing their perfumes. Well, they're eau de toilettes, but they perform very similar to perfume for me. So yeah, listen, didn't care for this one, but the other two were winners. So you win some, you lose some, and that's fine. 2 other crinkle candles really quickly that I want to mention. I started digging into the macaroons. This one is still called macaroons, but just so you know, I did order the 4-wick of this one, and it's now spelled macarons. It's proper. But I do want to finish my 2-wick backups before I dig into the 4-wicks, so decided to pop this one downstairs. She is delightful. So good. Again, another like beautiful, fruity, delicious gourmand that, can you guys hear that? It's my neighbor Mike. He's out with his leaf blower. There are no leaves to be found. I don't know what he's blowing. Anyway, last candle, pink peony and pomelo. I did burn this one in my dining room a few times this week, and it has been burning really well. So I'm officially past the halfway point with this one, and it's still going strong. So great performance. If you are interested in a floral where there's actually a little bit more focus on the citrus in this particular fragrance, this would be the floral that I would tell you to dig into. So more citrus than peony, but a really beautiful combination nonetheless. All right, what are we at here? It's gonna cut me off, hold please. Okay, let's discuss some wax melts. So this week I was playing around with some fruity scents from Scentsy. So let's go ahead and go through these. There should be probably 2 of these in here, right? Yep. All right, this Disney collection I picked up last year at some point and never ended up melting any of the bars. So decided to dig into them this past week. These are the Disney and Scentsy signature treats, and this was the fruit and hazelnut waffle delight. You know what this reminded me of? It's when I was warming it, I really started getting some HomeWorx berry pumpkin waffles. I also at times felt like it smelled a little bit like pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath and Body Works. Neither of those 2 fragrances are really related, but it just periodically I'd walk past the warmers where this was going and I'd be like, is that berry pumpkin waffles? Is that pumpkin pecan waffles? I don't know why I got that vibe, but I did. Listen, I really like this one. This is a great scent. I went through both bars. I got 2 sets. So this was really, really yummy. But I will say, it wasn't really hazelnut that I got from this. There was a definite nuttiness. It smelled a little bit more like pecans, I guess you could say. And the waffle wasn't really necessarily waffle. I don't know, there's a definite gourmand note here, but it's not super distinct. It just smells delicious. Good performance too. So anyway, like that, but I don't think that's currently available. Probably can't get that. All right, this is Posy Peach, and I think I just have one Posy Peach, right? Yeah, I think I'm saving my other one for summer. I really like Posy Peach, you guys. This was part of the recent Bring Back My Bar. This is a slightly floral peach, but very juicy, very sweet, really, really yummy. I really like this one. I feel like Scentsy does peach scents really well, and if this one were to come back around for Bring Back My Bar voting again in the future, I would absolutely vote for this. I never voted for this one, but I'm really glad it came back, because those of you that did vote for it, you knew what you're doing. Good for you. All right, here I have a Jammin' Jubilee, which was in my club. I did end up removing this from my club, and it's a little bit of a regret, but I do have a few backups on hand that I'll be able to enjoy this summer. I'm gonna hope that they come back with a similar fragrance. This is mostly raspberry to my nose, but I also smell some strawberry in here as well. It's a very just delicious summer berry scent, and I was kind of craving that this week. And it's a good performer, you guys. Now this one has been sitting for a few months, obviously, but it is delicious nonetheless. You know what I didn't love is the Orange Dreamsicle. First of all, this one petered out really quickly on me. I've not had any real issues with the other Bring Back My Bars, but this one didn't last super long. Like after about 24 hours, I was like, yeah, I think I'm done with this. Also, it's not my favorite orange that I've ever smelled from Scentsy. They've done other orange fragrances in the past that I've enjoyed a lot more. This just smelled kind of, I don't know, the orange smells a little bit like a cleaning type product to me. It's just not a delicious orange. And I don't think it smells like those little, you know, orange, like dreamsicle cups that you would get in elementary school as like a special treat. Like if it smelled like that, if it basically smelled like oranges and cream, I would be super into it, but this doesn't really give me that. It's kind of a weird scent to my nose. Yeah, so I mean, glad I tried it because I was definitely curious about it, but not something that I would ever vote for again, that's for sure. Summer Sippin', this was also a part of the recent Bring Back My Bar. And this is a combination of raspberry, some citrus. There's a little bit more citrus in this one that really brings that raspberry to life. So you've got a lot of tartness with the raspberry. Delicious, good performance on this one. Easily went 2.5, 3 days. Still smelling it quite well. So decent performance in my eyes. I did most of this bar of Cake Made of Paradise. You guys, Cake Made of Paradise is back for the spring summer catalog 2025, and I am so thankful. I had put this in my club, which means I can take this out of my club at least for the foreseeable future. I'll definitely put it back in at the end of this upcoming like spring summer catalog because I want to keep this forever. But man, what a great scent. I will say nothing in here reminds me of cake. This is mostly a fruity, like a tropical fruity scent to my nose. I freaking love it. Does it smell bakery? No. Do I even care? No. This can be whatever it is right now, and it's perfect. So good. And then, yep, that's the last one. One more. What's this one? This is the Country Candle Sweet Stuff Wax Melts. I have maybe 10 of these left. Now this is a fragrance that Kringle, I feel like they discontinued it a couple of years ago, and I discovered it very late. It was right as they were discontinuing it, and so I just got a bunch of the wax melts when they were clearancing them out, but I never got my hands on any of the candles, and what a regret. This is one of those fragrances that they need to transfer from the Country Candle line into the 2-wick, just regular classic jars when they make that transition, because this is an amazing fragrance, you guys. It reminds me a lot of the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 fragrance. So kind of smells like the Yankee Candle Capri Glow. So since we can't get this right now, I'm gonna suggest that you check out the Capri Glow from the, I think it's the Hello Italy collection. Very similar. Now I haven't burned it. I've not lit it up yet, but on cold sniff, the two smell very, very similar. So at the very least, I guess I can continue on with the Capri Glow, but this sweet stuff, man, it's beautiful. It's a slightly more floral take on the Shirosa 62 fragrance, but almost spot on, and a great performance. This man and his leaf blower, he's lucky that he's so nice. Otherwise, I hear it a lot, you guys. He does a lot of leaf blowing. But anyway, this is fantastic. And that is everything that I have for you this week. Let me know what you are burning and melting in the comments down below. Yeah, I would love to know what you guys are enjoying as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Give this video a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo. It's so